Good morning, everyone. Rob with Health Sidekick. I always sit there and I think, what can I actually do to help people lose weight? And I think that you have to. The only thing I can do is tell you what I've done to lose weight. And what I've done is I've actually had to change my thinking. Like Einstein says, we cannot solve our problems with the same thinking we used when we created them. We have to have new information. If I could get, I think, people to do this and understand a little bit more about their averages, and I know I harp on this a lot, but it's new information for people. So remember, losing weight is really about a mental and spiritual game. It's about changing your thinking. So let's think. Let's go ahead and at least go ahead and think about what averages are, and if you could follow me on this, I think this would help you a lot. So when I'm looking at my goal, my daily log. This is this morning as I had a donut for breakfast. Again, the whole idea is however you eat, that's up to you. However I eat and exercise, that's up to me. Uh, you're gonna when you're logging, the idea is that when you talk about new information, is to start to readjust your thought process about food. Food is put into a couple different categories for you. One, does it translate into weight loss? Yes or no? So if a donut translates into weight loss for you, and we're not talking about fantasy, what everybody else says, does it translate into weight loss for you? Yes or no? That means a pretty simple thing. Have I been able to lose weight and eat donuts over the last period of time? Here's another thing that you can look at. Does eating, I'll give an example just because it's a really a big thing, right? It does eating low carb translate into weight loss for me? Yes or no? Oh, well, people will look at that and say, oh yeah, when I go on a diet, I go ahead and lose weight, but I gain it right back. Has it really translated into weight loss for me? Yes or no? Oh, well, then if it has, great, put it in a good category. Maybe that's good for you. You enjoy eating that way, so you can stick with it. Does eating a donut translate into weight loss for me? I can tell you absolutely with certainty it does. I've been eating donuts and losing weight. It's a pretty simple. So those are the things. Then the next category that you want to put it on, is this food nutritious or not? That's another analysis that you want to do when you're looking at the foods you're logging. Is a donut nutritious? No. I mean, it doesn't. It has some carbs, so maybe if I'm going, and maybe that's okay to eat if I'm going on exercise. But is it nutritious? Not really. It's not. It has sugar in it. It's not. I'm not living in a delusion to think that that's a really great thing to eat. Does it translate into weight loss for me? Yes. Is it nutritious? No. So I need to eat some. I need to eat things that are nutritious too. So do I want to waste calories on things that are nutritious? Or do I want to have the donut that translates into weight loss? Why not have both? So instead of trying to eat a bunch of calories in things that are nutritious, grabbing a handful of spinach that is 15 calories, I'll get my nutrition. Eat some low-fat meat. Oh, I get my protein, or let's say egg whites, and then having that donut. Well, I've averaged out that whole thing. I've basically neutralized those things. I'm eating something that translates into weight loss. This donut over here, by me eating that, it eliminates. Here's another thing that I want to point out to you. Also, when it comes to eating that donut, the idea here is also, remember, and I'm not saying that everybody needs to go eat donuts. I'm just saying that, for example, the idea of me eating this donut over here, if I was on someone else's diet or thing that I was trying to, like I've always done in the past. Well, if I'm sitting out like last night, and I'll give you an idea. Let's say I'm on of not eating any donuts or carbs or whatever it is. Well, if I'm out doing that and now I eat this donut, which invariably I always did, I always broke restrictive diets, but that's me. You may be able to hold on to it. Point is that when I would eat that donut, now my mind all of a sudden changes. I'm on this program, I just failed, and now I might as well eat a bunch of donuts. But when I'm on my own program and I'm realizing that donut translates in and it's part of my program, you know what I think? I can always have another donut tomorrow. I can eat another donut the next day. The most important thing I need to be looking at is staying within in my HSK prime number. And do I always do that? No. This is the next thing that I want to point out to you. You don't have to stick with your HSK prime number every single day. There'll be times when you eat over it. There'll be things. The most important thing is have that analytical idea in your head. Losing weight, please, is very granular. Yeah, you'll lose weight quickly in the beginning, but then you're going to stall because your body's eliminated a lot of that initial weight loss, body, food weight, and so forth. Typically, when people are getting ready to go on a program, they've just came off a huge eating cycle. Remember, majority of people that start diets, I'm going to start a diet on Monday. So what do? They eat everything under the sun on the weekend and they lose a bunch of weight. Well, you've just stuffed your face for 2 days. And so, of course, you're going to lose a bunch of weight. But people don't analyze that. So this thing is really important that I'm trying to explain and get out to people. So on your averages, remember, your HSK prime number is going to give you a perfect number for you. You're going to have a different number than anybody else. It's not like any other site. And what it's going to go ahead and say to you is, Rob, this is how much food I can eat and not gain or lose any weight. I stay underneath that, I lose. The next thing I have to, and that means that also what I don't want to do is I don't want to eliminate from my logs food that I eat, whether I go over or not. And I don't want to eliminate high weigh-ins, because if I eliminate those things from my logs, it'll make my HSK prime number lower than it actually excuse me. I'm just cheating myself. I'm not giving my program the right information. So if I miss eating a bunch of calories, for example, I just now drop my HSK prime number lower than what it actually is. I want an accurate number, because I want that number to be accurate, because I want to know when I'm eating over it and so forth. So getting back onto the next thing, I know this is a little long. On your averages, the next thing I want to focus on is, for example, yesterday, I log immediately when I'm eating, or right after there, or even before if I know I'm close to my HSK prime number, to see if I'm close. I was over my HSK prime number yesterday, 36 calories. I knew I was going to be over it. I was out having a good time on Friday night. I knew I was going to be over it. So, but am I really gaining weight even if I'm over it on a daily basis? Yeah, I'm in my weight gain zone for that day, but how am I doing on my averages? That's where you click on your averages, and I look at my 7-day. Here's my 7-day average, right? I now can look at my 7-day average and say, okay, even if I do go over, I'm under my HSK prime number, 58 calories on average over the last 7 days. I'm down 0.63 pounds. And remember, please understand this. All this is saying when I'm talking about averages is it's saying that all my calories put together, if I were to take them and divide them by 7, this last 7 days, I've eaten 1,573 net calories on average over the last 7 days, below my HSK prime number. If I eat over that for a day, that's not, especially if it's 50 calories, I'm still not gonna be in my weight gain zone. So I have that leeway to pick and choose when I want to go ahead and eat underneath it and when I don't. I know this is a long one, but I'm really trying to get this across. This will absolutely help you with weight loss. The rest of the information is a spiritual environment where you have to try to get in a spot where you can consistently analyze this information. The majority of people, the hardest thing about weight loss for them is just getting honest with themselves. They don't want to put the weigh-ins in there. They don't want to put the food they're logging in there because they don't want to be accountable. All I'm trying to tell you is that if you can do that and start being accountable to yourself, because that's the only person that matters, is how you're feeling about yourself. If you're happy being where you're at, super. If you're not, you have the ability to change that, and you can do it. I hope that